Today we have guests from the university, Patricia Marsh-Stefanowska, lector, and a group of students from the second, third and fourth year of the English department. The students prepared 3 sketches by Harolд Pinter and some songs. They worked under the guidance of Patricia. You're in fact director of the sketches, aren't you? Would you tell us something about Harold Pinter, who wrote the sketches?
Yes, certainly. He's a Londoner. He was born in 1930. He's one of the best-known British playwrights, but actually he started his career as an actor. His first play was produced in 1957, and his latest play is being shown in London at the moment and in Zagreb.
His work is part of what is called theatre of the absurd. Why is it called that?
Simply because his plays show the absurdity of what we do and how we behave and how we speak. That's why Pinter's plays are full of very realistic, everyday speech with a lot of misunderstandings, half-finished sentences, and so on.
And of course, the situations in which the characters are shown are very ordinary situations. For instance, in the sketches you are going to see, we meet a manager and a worker in an office. We meet a group of people waiting at a bus stop, or we meet a man interviewed for a job. Would you say these sketches show typical themes of Pinter's work?
Yes, indeed. And the main theme of them all is aggression. In the first sketch, it's very similar to many of Pinter's plays, in which the person who is aggressive at the beginning becomes the victim at the end. In this sketch you can see a factory manager who is very self-confident, who thinks his workers are very satisfied, and then who is gradually broken down by one of his workers. The sketch is called Trouble in the Works, and Mr. Phibbs is played by Zoran Angliski and Wills by Dafina Nikolovska.
Let's see the first sketch.
Ah, Wills. Good. Come in. Sit down, will you?
Thanks, Mr. Phibbs.
You got my message?
I just got it.
Good, good. Well now, Wills. Have a cigar, will you?
No, thanks. Not for me, Mr. Phibbs.
Well now, Wills. I hear there's been a little trouble in the factory.
Yes, I suppose you could call it that, Mr. Phibbs.
But what in heaven's name is it all about?
Well, I don't exactly know how to put it, Mr. Phibbs.
Come on, Wills. I've got to know what it is before I can do anything about it.
Well, Mr. Phibbs, it's simply a matter that a man has... Well, they seem to have taken a turn against some of the products.
Taken a turn?
They just don't seem to like them anymore.
They don't like them? But we've got a reputation of having the finest machine part turnover in the country. They're the best paid men in the industry. We've got the cheapest canteen in Yorkshire. No two menus are alike. We've got a billiard hall, haven't we? On the premises we've got a swimming pool for use of stuff and what about a long playing record room? And you tell me they are dissatisfied.
Oh, the men are very grateful for all the amenities, sir. They just don't like the products.
Which ones don't they like?
Brass petcock, for instance.
The brass petcock? What's the matter with the brass petcock?
They just don't seem to like it anymore.
But what exactly they don't like about that?
Perhaps it's just the look of it.
That brass petcock? But I tell you, it's perfection, nothing short of perfection.
They've just gone right off it.
Well, I'm flabbergasted.
It's not only the brass petcock, Mr. Phibbs.
What else?
There's the hemi-unibal spherical rod end.
The hemi-unibal spherical rod end? But where could you find a finer rod end?
There are rod ends and rod ends, Mr. Phipps.
I know there are rod ends and rod ends, but where could you find a finer hemi-unibal spherical rod end?
They just don't want to have anything more to do with it.
This is shattering, shattering. What else? Come on, girls. There is no point in hiding anything from me.
Well, I hate to say it, but they've gone very vicious about the high-speed taper shank spiral flute reamers.
High-speed taper shank spiral flute reamers? But it is absolutely ridiculous. What could they possibly have against the high-speed taper shank spiral flute reamers?
All I can say is there is a state of very bad agitation about them.
Good heavens.
And then there's the gunmetal side after leaf with handle.
What?
There's the nipples connector and the nipples adapter and the vertical mechanical comparator.
No.
And the one they can't speak about without trembling is the jaw for Jacob's chuck for use on portable drills.
My own Jacob's chuck? Not my very own Jacob's chuck.
They've just taken a turn against the whole lot of them, I tell you. Male elbow adapters, tubing nuts, grab screws, internal fan washers, dog points, half dog points, white metal bushes.
But surely not my lovely parallel male stud couplings.
They hate and detest your lovely parallel male stud couplings and the straight flange palm connectors and back knots and front knots and the bronze draft cock with handwheel and the bronze draft cock without handwheel.
Not the bronze draft cock with handwheel.
And without handwheel.
Without handwheel.
And with handwheel.
Not with handwheel.
And without handwheel.
Without handwheel.
With handwheel and without handwheel.
With handwheel and without handwheel.
With or without?
Tell me, what do they want to make in its place?
Brandy balls.
The next sketch is also based on aggression, but like the one you've just seen, it is also very humorous.
Yes, although this could be a very serious situation, we find ourselves laughing most of the time. We see a woman standing at a bus stop, accusing a man of insulting her and threatening to take him to the police. The part of the woman is played by Bojana Tozia, and the sketch is called Request Stop.
Could you please tell me if I could get a bus from here to Shepherd's Bush?
No, I don't know.
What? I beg your pardon? What did you say? Oh, all I asked you was if I could get a bus from here to Shepherd's Bush. Oh, nobody asked you to start making insinuations. Who do you think you are anyway? People today. I know your type. I know your sort. I know about people like you. We can all tell where you come from. They're putting your sword inside every day of the week. All I have to do is to report you, and you'll be standing in the dock in next to no time. You know, one of my best friends, a plainclothes detective. I know all about it. Standing there with butter with a milk in your mouth, and then meet you in a dark alley. It'd be another story. Excuse me, you heard what this man said to me? All I asked him was if I could get a bus from here to Shepherd's Bush. Don't you worry about that. I've got witnesses. Impertinence. Ask a man a civil question and he treats you like a tripping a bit. Ellie, my friend, I'm not going to put you... You're bloody lucky I don't put you in a charge. Anyone can tell you are from the country. I was born just around the corner. Anyone can tell you're just up from the country for a bit of lark. Excuse me, lady. I'm thinking of taking this man to the medical school. You heard him say that crack. Would you like to be a witness? That's it. I was the first in the queue. Born just round the corner, born and bred. These people from the country haven't the faintest idea of how to behave. Peruvians. You're bloody lucky I don't put you in a charge. I asked a straightforward... Excuse me, could you please tell me if I could get a bus from here to Marble Arch? The gods.
The last sketch is called The Applicant. A young man comes for an interview for a job, but the psychological test he has to take turns out like a bad dream.
Again, this is very typical of Pinter. Very often the everyday situations he shows us turn out to be frightening and not explained. The part of Miss Piffs is taken by Mary Nizamova, and Mr. Lamb is again Zoran Anchevsky.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, miss.
Are you Mr. Lamb?
That's right.
Are you applying for this vacant post?
I am actually, yes.
Are you a physicist?
Yes, indeed. That's my whole life.
Good. Now our procedure is that before we discuss the applicant qualifications, we have to subject him to a little test to determine his psychological suitability. You've no objections?
Good heavens, no.
Please sit down.
Thanks.
Can you fit these to your palms?
What are they?
Electrodes.
Oh. Fun little things.
Now the earphones.
I see how amusing.
Now plug in.
Plug in? Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course. You'd have to, wouldn't you? This helps to determine my suitability, does it?
Unquestionably. Do not think about a thing.
No.
Relax completely. Relax. Quite relaxed? Would you say you were an excitable person?
Well, not unduly, no. Of course,
Would you say you were a moody person?
I wouldn't say I was moody. Well, sometimes, occasionally,
Do you often get fits or depression?
well, I wouldn't call them depression exactly.
Do you often do things you regret in the morning?
Things I regret. Well, it depends what you mean really by often. I mean, when you say often,
Are you often puzzled by women?
Women?
Men?
Man? Oh, I was just going to answer the first question about women.
Do you often feel puzzled
Puzzled?
by women?
Women?
Men?
Man? Oh, just a minute. They want separate answers or a joint one?
After your day's work, do you ever feel tired, edgy, fritty, irritable, at a loose end, morose, frustrated, morbid, unable to concentrate, unable to sleep, unable to eat, unable to remain seated, unable to remain upright, lustful, indolent, unhit, randy, full of desire, full of energy, full of dread, drained of energy, of dread, of desire?
Oh, well, it's really difficult to say.
Are you a good mixer?
Oh, you've touched on quite an interesting point there.
Do you suffer from eczema, listlessness, or a falling coat? Are you a virgin?
I beg your pardon?
Are you a virgin?
Well, it's rather embarrassing, I mean, in front of a lady.
Are you a virgin?
Yes, I am, actually. I make no secret of it.
Have you always been a virgin?
Yes, always.
From the word go?
Go? Yes, from the word go.
Do women frighten you? Their clothes, their shoes, their way of laughing, their way of walking, their way of talking, their way of sitting. their shins, their knees, their thighs. They are...
Well, it depends what you mean, really.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lamb. We'll let you know.
The students are not only good at acting, but good musicians as well. They've prepared 2 songs. Would you, Patricia, tell us something about the songs?
Yes, the first is a Negro spiritual. This is one of the songs which the Negro slaves used to sing in America. It is a kind of prayer for death and to go to heaven. It's called All My Trials and is arranged by Joan Byers. The singers are Maria Avsha and Vesna Simovska, and Elica Kovačevska and Verka Ristova also play the guitar and sing.
All my trials. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. You know your mama was born to die. All my trials, Lord, soon be over. The river of Jordan is muddy and cold. Well, it chills the body, but not the soul. All my trials, Lord, soon be over. I've got a little book with pages 3, and every page spells liberty. All my trials, Lord, soon be over. Too late, my brothers, too late, but never mind. All my trials, Lord, soon be over. If living were a thing that money could buy, you know the rich would live and the poor would die. All my trials, Lord, soon be over. There grows a tree in paradise, and the pilgrims call it the tree of life. All my trials, Lord, soon be over. Too late, my brothers, too late, but never mind. All my trials, Lord, soon be over.
Soon be over.
The second song is a well-known song by Cat Stevens, an English singer who now lives in the United States. It's called Moon Shadow.
Moon shadow. I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plough and lose my lands, and if I ever lose my hands, oh if I won't have to work no more. And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colours all run dry, and if I ever lose my eyes, oh if I won't have to cry no more. I'm being followed by a moon shadow. And if I ever lose my legs, I won't moan and I won't beg. And if I ever lose my legs, oh if I won't have to walk no more. And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth, north and south, and if I ever lose my mouth, oh if I won't have to talk no more. Did it take long to find me? I asked the faithful light. Did it take long to find me? And are you going to stay the night? I'm being followed by a moon shadow.
Thank you all for coming and entertaining us. Goodbye.
I won't have to work no more, and if I